Hey guys, so it's unwinding day. So we're gonna do a couple of things for your myofascial release techniques for today, kind of with the upper portion of the body, because I think when a lot of us think of stress and tension and the need to unwind, a lot of the emphasis comes up here. Headache, tension, jaw clenching, knots in the neck. So I want to help facilitate your efforts in unwinding today by giving you some activities to do in regards to this. So the first thing we're going to do, I hope you didn't do your hair yet today because we're going to get it messy. Or do this another time when you don't mind getting your hair a mess. So again, we'll do the symmetrical stuff, and then I will do one side with you, and then you can come back, rewind the video, and do the opposite side. So I kind of learned this technique a little while ago with the scalp, and it's basically just a scalp massage that you're just going to get into all of these different places in the scalp, and then we're going to kind of like crack the skull open and just let all of this energy release. So when we've been doing, or when we did the myofascial techniques yesterday, and if you've been doing them, the ones that I've already posted on the YouTube channel, you know that it's all about finding these points of sensation, having the intuition to know that this is a place where there's something going on. Whatever you want to think, is it stuck energy? Is it tight fascia where the hydration needs to be released? It's all of these things. So as you go through this kind of scalp massage, I just want you to really just close your eyes and feel into it. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a couple of kind of, first just get the hair a mess, get everything in here. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can kind of use the fingers just to kind of press in one direction, kind of working out anything. You can kind of do like this scratchy motion and really get in there in these small little movements. You can press in, you can make small circles as you move along. And I just want to point out one place and kind of one bone that I really like to massage. So if you go behind your ear, there's almost like a dip and then this bony protrusion that comes up and kind of makes the same arc as your ear. So that bone, I have no idea what it's called, but it feels really good to just kind of get behind the ears and massage that bone. Really get your fingers in there. And then obviously the base of the skull, the occiput, is another place that feels really, really good to massage. So just take some time here, all of us together, and you're just going to get the hair a complete mess, and you're just going to massage the scalp. So whatever feels best for you, just dig in there and release all that energy. I'll give you a couple minutes, some breath cycles to do that, and then we'll kind of do the cracking open, right? So whatever feels best for you, just get the fingers in, just massaging out the scalp, listening, noticing what your body is asking for and what it needs. If you feel a particular spot that's tender and sensitive, just give it a little bit of extra love here. You know, although it's nice for someone to do this for you, you know, partner, kids, whatever, they don't feel what you're feeling. So it's nice to sometimes just really take the time to sit alone, maybe in a quiet corner, maybe outside, maybe when you're in the bath, in the shower would be really good with the warm water kind of beating down on you as well. So just tune in and rub to get in there and feel what you're feeling. Where is your body sending you signals, and what is it telling you? And you'll notice as you start going over the scalp that there's these really weird spots that you're gonna feel that it's very tender and sensitive, and there's like little bones that you can feel that maybe you've never taken notice of before. So really just get in there. You can go front to back, you can go up and down. And this is one of the exercises that when it's time or when I cue for us to move on, if you want to stay and pause and keep massaging the scalp, you can absolutely do that. Okay. So we're going to go into kind of this cracking open technique. So you're going to take the 4 fingers and you're going to start at the bottom of the hairline, so at the front of the skull. So we're going to move from front all the way to the back down the midline. So you're going to bring the fingers from the bottom of the hairline all the way up to the center point of the scalp. Okay, and then you're going to kind of just drag it back down. Okay, move down a little bit, come up. At the center point, drag it apart, almost like you're cracking the skull open. Push the fingers up, drag it apart. Really press the fingers in. Press the fingers up to the midline. Drag it open. Again, starting at the front, cracking open at the top, dragging the fingers back down. Fingers come up, and fingers come down. Fingers come up, fingers come down, opening that top ridge of the head. Fingers come up, fingers come down. Give the occiput a little bit of love here. And then just one final kind of scratch all over the head. Hands just come to your lap. Didn't that feel amazing? Okay, so let's get the tennis ball out. So you're gonna work the temples first. So you may want to come to sit at a table, or if you have a bolster or something that you can kind of prop your elbow up on, you can do that. So ball comes to the temple. You're just gonna lean your head into the ball. Maybe you're gonna make small circles at the temple. Really breathing in. Maybe it's enough to hold. Just give it time here. And without gripping the neck or creating any tension in your neck, just let it be. Again, option to make those small circles if that feels good for you. Just tuning into your body, your breath, what it is that's being asked of you. Good. Now the ball is going to come to the jaw. So the TMJ joint here, where the bottom jaw fastens into the skull. Same thing. You're just going to lay the jaw. Oh, it hurts to talk. So lay the jaw on the ball here. This one usually doesn't require a lot of pressure. It's very sensitive because 99.9% of us clench our teeth. And if you practice with me often, how many times do I cue for you to put space between the teeth? And every time we all need to move our teeth away from each other. I could say it 12 times during class, and every time we all need to create that space. And you know, it's just like training your body. You know, we're so used to our natural pattern being subconsciously that our teeth are clenched together. When we sleep, when we're, you know, just hanging out during the day, working, whatever, that it's going to take years of training and reminders to unclench your jaw, create space between your teeth for us to naturally do it when we're not being cued to do it. Okay, so now the bone of the cheekbone, it feels really good to just kind of roll the ball along that ridge of the cheekbone. You can bring it right up to the nose, so right from the joint all the way to the nose. Right, these weird little places where we can get a lot of sensation. I don't think about these places a lot. Great, okay, good. So now we're gonna come down the side of the neck. So there's this big muscle that comes down the side of the neck, right from the ear, kind of the hook of the jaw, all the way to the shoulder. So you're just gonna use the ball, and you're just gonna roll the ball up and down that muscle. Just breathing into it. So again, slow it down. If there's anywhere where it's sensitive or it wants some extra attention, some extra pressure, probably everywhere, take the time to do that. If you want to pause and really focus in on this space for a little bit, and you can do the technique where you kind of move it one ball length and press and release the whole way down the neck, or you can just continue to slowly roll the ball up and down your neck. I realize this bulky sweater doesn't really allow you to see what I'm doing that well. Okay, so just rolling up and down. Good. Okay, so we're just going to switch to the hand for a second. And one of the places that I tend to go to when I have a headache or when I'm feeling stressed or anxious, and this is a very powerful like kind of energy meridian acupuncture point, is the meaty part right in between the thumb and the first finger. Okay, so all you're going to do is take the thumb and the first finger of the opposite hand, and you're just going to pinch and kind of massage that meaty part there. So you can find it. Mine is always very tender, so I know exactly when I've hit that spot that I need to massage out. So just take a second to massage out here, kind of feeling or noticing how the energy is kind of radiating through the one side of the head, the one side of your neck. Notice how it feels different from the other side. You'll get a chance to even it out here in a second. Make sure you're breathing as you do this. so you have two options. We're going to work on your occiput next. So first option is with a block. This is my preferred way to release my occiput, and I do this almost daily. You can, if you have a tennis ball or if you have one of the double ones, you can buy kind of a plastic double tennis ball. If you don't have that but you want to use the tennis ball instead of the yoga block or a stack of books, you can take a sock and put 2 tennis balls in it and then just use a hair tie or tie it off, and you'll have a double tennis ball. If you don't have a block and that's what you want to do, you can stack up some books and just put a towel over it so that there's some cushioning. If you have a thick book, that would be best. If not, maybe you have some duct tape that you can duct tape some books together. Okay, so basically, and you can use the block and the ball if you want. Basically what you will do is you will come down onto your back, and the occiput is that the base of your skull. It almost makes like the top part of a heart. So you're going to take that edge, and you can choose whatever height, well, low or medium. I would recommend not going to the high height. So you're just going to hook the occiput on the edge of the block. Soles of the feet come together. So your chin is dropping towards your chest, and you're creating just a little bit of traction at the base of your skull. Okay? And you can adjust as needed. But then you're just going to rock your head side to side, just kind of manipulating, massaging out the fascia at the base of the occiput. And this, depending on who you are, it might be very sensitive. For me, this is always the place that is sensitive for me. I wish that I could just pay someone to like drive their fingers up under my occiput and traction my head all of the time. That would be glorious. It's the only reason I need to win the lottery is so someone can traction my skull all the time. Okay, so just taking time. So if you're using the block and you're digging that, stay there. If you want to use the tennis ball, you can use one tennis ball and kind of rock side to side, but 2 is better. With one tennis ball, you can kind of put it right in the middle of the occiput, and you can rock side to side a little bit. If one tennis ball is all you've got, you can work with that. If you have 2, you can put them together and do it that way. Tie your hair up if you're using the tennis ball because it might get stuck. You might need to play around with it today, tomorrow, whenever you come back to this. Over time, you'll find what works best for you. Remember, it's all about releasing that gripping and tension. So when you're here working in the occiput, try not to undo what you just did at the jaw. So keep space between your teeth and breathe into it. Go nice and slow, rolling over the occiput, stopping, feeling into it anywhere where there's any particular gripping or tension. You can roll back and forth a little bit above, a little bit below. Just that little bit of pressure on something solid. It's going to help rehydrate those tissues and help them to function more optimally. So for me personally, I could stay here for an hour and do this. So if that's what you want to do, go for it. But if not, I'm going to come back up. And you're going to come to a seated position. clasp your hands behind your back. So we're still working on the right side of the body. So the hands go to the left hip. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. So if you're working on the right side, left ear drops to left shoulder. If you're working the left side, right ear drops to right shoulder. Just hang here. Just for a couple breaths. Good, come back to center, hands to your knees, drop your chin towards your chest. Spine stays nice and long, just let your chin drop towards your chest. Good, gently lift the head back up. Pointer finger and middle finger of the right hand come to your third eye, that space right between the eyebrows. Press, just a little bit of pressure here. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe you make small circles there at your third eye. And then take the two hands, first finger, middle finger, just rub across the brow line to the temples, from the third eye to the temples. Just a couple times. And then just along the hairline with the two fingers down the hairline to the temples. Just a couple times. Good. Awesome work. So now you can rewind the video back to the very beginning. If you want to do the scalp massage again, I highly recommend going through that whole thing twice with the scalp massage. If not, just start it with the tennis ball at the temple, work back down through the left side of the body or whichever side you didn't do. And then just sit with the energy, sit with how your body feels after you do the complete circuit, your unwinding myofascial release. Drink lots of water when you're done, and I will see you soon for the next exercise and live practice tonight. Thanks.